So we're going to draw this isometric shape on the graph paper today. Each one of these blocks on the graph paper is going to represent a ½ inch. So for example, we're going to start with making a 6-inch tall line or a 6-block tall line. That will be 3 inches. All right, here we go. To start, we're going to measure up a 1/4 inch. So a 1/4 inch, I'm just going to make a light line there so I know where my 1/4 inch is. And I know somewhere in here I'm starting. And the drawing will work well if we go over about 6 inches. So if we're starting a 1/4 inch up and 6 inches over. That is my base point. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a nice light construction line. This is the line we'll reference everything from. And this construction line should be 3 inches tall. So I'm going to make a mark at 3 inches here, and I'm going to erase all the rest of my construction lines before I get going so it's less confusing. So there we go. Now, for isometric drawings, we use a 30-60-90 triangle. And all of our lines will be with a 30-60-90 triangle like this on our shape. And what we're going to do is we're going to start by making some construction lines going off to the side on each side of that line. So I'm going to go to the end point on each side of the line. Just flip the triangle over to do it on the other side. So on each side of the line, I'm making lines going off to the distance. Now, I'm going to put in my vertical lines. So on this side, my vertical line, I'll just pick one of those diagonal lines I made, is 6 boxes, so I have to go 3 inches in. I'm going to make a little mark. I'll make a vertical line. You could technically do this as an object line, but I'm keeping it construction for now. And on the other side, it is 9 boxes. So here I'm going to measure over 4½ inches, and I'm going to make a line going up here. And I need a little more there on that line, and that's easy to do. Just flip my triangle over and give myself whatever extra I need. Now, to close the basic shape of the box, all we need to do is use the triangle. So we're going to use the triangle here, and just wherever this corner is, we are going to just make a line going off into the distance, and then we will flip it over, and wherever this triangle's corner is, or this rectangle corner is, we'll make a line going off, and where they intersect, that's the top of the box. So we've got the basic box shape in there. Now we're going to go about putting in the cutout area. So, to do the cutout area, it is going to be 1½ inches in and 3 inches in. So I'm going to make 2 marks from this point, 1½ and 3. And I'm going to make lines going this way. I'm not going to make them too far. They're only going to be 1 inch long, so I'm just going to make them approximately as long as I need. At least more than 1 inch. I'm going to erase the rest, and then they're going to go down 2 inches because it's 4 boxes. So I am just estimating here, and then I'm going to go put in my measurements. So I'm going to go in here on this line. This line is 1 inch back. I'm going to make a mark there. I'm going to put in my construction line between these two, so that's 1 inch, right? And then on this one, this should go down 2 inches, and I was almost perfect on my 2 inch line, so I make my mark, and it goes over 2 inches. That was pretty good estimating. Now, to avoid confusion, I'm going to get rid of this line immediately, because that will just make things more confusing. Get rid of some of these extra lines if you want. I find that's a good thing to do, to get rid of construction lines when they're no longer needed. So I'm getting rid of some of my construction lines here. And then the last bit, we don't have to measure for. We're all done measuring. All we have to do is draw a line down from here. Construction line. I make it a little longer than it needs to be. It doesn't have to touch here, but just below this point. And then I take the triangle and use my 30-60-90 triangle on the T-square to come in and connect. And then I flip it over again and where those two lines intersect, I bring it out. At this point, I would erase all of my extra construction lines, and I've got the shape done. And all I have to do is darken it in, which I'm going to speed up a little, but I'm just going to come in here. I like to darken in all of them and then turn my triangle over. I'm going to get all of my front view diagonal lines in. It's important to still use the triangle and the T-square together. It ensures that when you have lines with a gap like that, that they're still going to be on the exact same plane. All right, coming over here. Maybe I'll do my verticals next. Ooh, pencil snap. Do my verticals next. 1, 2. And then when I get done with this, I will just flip the triangle over. And I will do my other diagonals for my side view. And this is how we draw the isoblock 1 shape as an isometric, where each block is equal to 1/2 of an inch. And when I get done darkening, I will have to go in and clean up some spots. There are some spots in there that definitely have some hidden lines left over that I need to clean up, but overall, this was a good job. So I'm just going to make my guideline here. That was ISO 1. And there you have it. So good luck. Take your time to erase any of your extra construction lines, and hopefully this video was helpful.